What's up, moneymakers? Welcome back to the channel. We are going to talk about ticker symbol CTRM, Castor Maritime Inc. in this video. There has been a lot happening with the company in general, the stock price, what has been happening for last one and a half months. So I want to give you a quick summary of what is going on with CTRM while the market is down. Today, the Nasdaq was down 1.06%. Dow Jones was down 2%, almost 725.81 points, and S&P was down 1.59% to almost 69 points. Now, Castor Maritime Inc. was there was no real movement. It closed at $2.03. The day range was $1.89 to $2.15. Now, if you take a look at what has been happening for Castor Maritime Inc. for 5 days, the stock is down 10.57%. For 1 month, the stock is down 25.64%. For 6 months, the stock is down 37.54%. And year to date, the stock is up 9.14%. So pretty much the stock is right now close to what it was in January, around January 4th. Now, what I want to share more about the stock is right here. There is a still pattern with CTRM. What the company does is practically, so this is a traditional shipping company. They started with a small number of vessels last year and they aggressively grew. And if you take a look at the revenue reflects what the company has been doing. In Q1 2021, the revenue was 6.97 million with the net income of 1.13 million, which is a pretty lucrative income for a shipping company that was founded in 2016. But the company has aggressively grew since it was founded, especially in last couple of years. The company has expanded their business, not only their business from dry vessels to the liquid vessels as dry bulk carrier to the liquid carrier. So they will not only do the dry bulk goods, but they'll also they are also actually shipping the liquid goods as well. And as you can see, the revenue grew with the period of time. 6.97 million with the net income of 1.13 million. In Q4 2020, the company had 4.39 million in revenue. So take a look how the revenue has been increasing for the company from 4.39 mil to 6.97 million. In September 2020, the company had 2.79 million with the net income of negative $580,000. So what has been happening with the company is companies raising the capital. So they raise the capital, they buy more vessels, so the company dilute their stocks, and which is hurting the stock price, but it may work out pretty good in the long term. So if you're a long-term investor in this company, a long term, you may see the return on the investment, but in the interim, the stock price has been dropping. As you can see, the stock itself had a lot of momentum and it became a meme stock, and there was a huge community on Reddit, Wall Street Bets, so on and so forth, and it became pretty popular stock. Now look into it, what exactly has happened. Now in January, the stock was $2.62, went all the way to $17.30. as you can see. By the way, this is the stock price after the reverse split, and I'll get into 1 second as to what exactly happened in the reverse stock split. But the stock went up, it went down to $7.86, went once again to $10.20, and right now we are seeing gradual dipping the price, as you can see on this chart. Now, what exactly has happened to Castor Maritime Inc? So one thing is Castor Maritime Inc announced the reverse stock split to be effective on May 20th, 2021. And the reverse stock split was 1-to-10. Reverse stock split the company's common shares. Now, if you take a look at the company itself, the company is a pretty small company. The company has $182 million in market cap. Once again, the company is pretty relatively new, 2016, one of the tough industry in the shipping industry because it's cash intensive industry. The business itself, they have to buy more and more vessels, they have to raise more and more capital, and what the company has been doing is raising capital, once again buying vessels, they're putting their vessels on a daily basis, getting the revenue out of it, operational costs they want to control. There are not a lot of people employed by the company, and we'll get into that in 1 second. And I want to leave you with one of the article that I found on Motley Fool, and we'll talk about what could be the strategy, whether you should buy, whether you should hold, or you should sell the stock. So let's talk about it. I'm not a financial advisor, and this video is only for the entertainment purpose. So do your own due diligence and research. By the way, click on the like button if you really want to help out the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. You can also subscribe to my channel, because 80% of the viewers on my channel are not subscribers. So hit that subscribe button. It will help the channel out. I put in a lot of efforts, energy, and time into this YouTube channel, hoping it can help you out making informed financial decisions when you need the information the most at the right time. So that's my goal. Also, if you want to help out the channel, I have the Patreon link down below. It's $4.99. It doesn't really cost you a lot of money, and it will help the channel out. It'll help me out as well with funding some of the subscription that I'm looking to get. Also, it will also fund me setting up my studio, getting better equipments for the studio, so on and so forth. So we have a private Discord as well, which is gradually growing, and we have a lot of newer people joining. So if you want to join the community, join the Patreon group, join the private Discord as well, and we can help support each other sharing information. Now let's take a look what has been happening with CastorMaritime Inc. So as I mentioned, there was a reverse stock split, 1-to-10 reverse stock split, which helped the company out in terms of staying listed on Nasdaq, because Nasdaq has the bid price rule requirement that the stock needs to close above $1 level to just keep the healthy stock price on the Nasdaq. So CastorMaritime Inc. had the deficiency for the $1 price point that we know in the past, and the company had reverse stock split that helped the company stay on the Nasdaq stock exchange, and it helped the stock and the common stockholders and everyone out as well, because if you're on Nasdaq, there are more eyeballs, there are more investors, and there is overall more exposure. But what has been actually happening with CastorMaritime is so here is the meeting the price bid rule requirement that just was announced on June 15, 2021. So we are looking at about a month before that was announced, and they gained the Nasdaq compliance. But with the reverse stock split, we're looking into the stock price going reflecting based on that as well. So you want to keep that in mind for $2.03 stock that you see right here. There's one more article, why CastorMaritime sunk another 15% in June. Now if you take a look, once again we go back to this chart, and let's take a look at 1 month chart. The stock was down 25.64%. If we go to June especially, let's take a look what exactly has happened. So in June right here, $2.60, the stock was down 22%, more or less, from June to now. Now looking further into this article, what this article talks about, the drop actually came through the starting month of 19% gain in the first quarter earning report, and I talked about that their revenue has been surging because they have more vessels. Their profitability is surging as well. In the long term, it may work out better for the company, but in the interim, we may see some decline. Now, due to the earning that's showing June profitable again, year of losses, that means the round trip CastorMaritime actually suffered another massive decline of 36%. Now, looking further into that, the dry bulk shipping company is CastorMaritime Inc. CTRM is still going into the opposite direction with the Baltic Dry Index, which rose 36% for the month, and the industry is expected to experience sharp summer rally with the shipping rates rapidly rising. So this actually could help out CastorMaritime Inc. because there are increasing shipping rates at the moment, as CastorMaritime has more and more vessels at the moment, and they're all employed. It may actually help them out. We don't really know how their contract works, whether they have the fixed contract or they have variable contract, but this eventually will help out the company. Investors might be concerned about the CTRM stock heading in the opposite direction of the industry, which is kind of the bigger worry for the investor. That's once again, they're mentioning that this is one-person company with the CEO, CFO, so on and so forth, and they have 21 21 vessels with the 15 dry bulk vessels and carriers with 6 tankers now, as I just mentioned, because they have expanded their business into the liquid bulk dry goods as well. The ships are technically managed by a company that is controlled by the family, his sister, and commercially managed by Castor Ships, which is a company controlled by the CEO itself. Now see, the Castor Maritime pays Castor Ships a lucrative management fee and daily fee as well. Moreover, it is affected by the reverse stock split, and they have also filed the $300 million stock offering that may eventually in future there might be more stock dilution. And as I mentioned, if the company keep buying more and more vessels, it will eventually help the stockholders out. But we are looking at a long period of time instead of just a quick gain, maybe like in 6 months or 1 year. I wouldn't really expect, but if you're in the long-term investor, you may want to look into Castor Maritime Inc. However, the market is going down, so you also want to take that into consideration. Take a look at what has been happening with Castor Maritime, and looking at the price point right here, it was $4.10 on June 3rd. So that was a massive price, and we are cut in half right now, $2.03. And if the market sentiment is trending lower and lower, Castor Maritime may go even further down. Now looking further into the volume looks pretty low as well, 3.8 million, 3 million, so on and so forth. We saw higher volume, even as good as 10.9 million, 11 million, 11.7 million, 26 million, so on and so forth. So that was a pretty healthy volume back in the days. Looking at the chart, we have been seeing pretty gradual decline, as you can imagine. So let's take a look right here. So we're looking at this chart, which suggests from $3.41 it went to $4.10, as I just mentioned, in June, and since then we saw the steady decline. Looking at the RSI looks pretty good, and it always looked good to me, especially for Castor Maritime. 54, not an overbought, not an oversold condition. And if you take a look at the 5-day RSI, 5-day RSI was also suggesting not an overbought or not an oversold condition. So that looks pretty good to me in general in terms of RSI. Looking at a 1 month chart right here, that also looks that it is declining, of course, but the RSI looks once again pretty good. So it's not a heavy short volume or a heavy sold stock, or due to that the stock is going down. It's more of a gradual organic decline. Now you want to do your own due diligence and analysis, but if the market goes down, Castor Maritime may go down. If you're not really for a long-term investor in Castor Maritime Inc., you might want to find alternative as well. But if you have the investment for a long term, it may eventually pay off when the company has more and more profitability. We're waiting to see the results, the quarterly earning results, and the data around the revenue and profitability, which I expect will be pretty stunning. So we will see what happens. I just wanted to share what exactly has happened to Castor Maritime in last 1.5 months, what has been going on with the Nasdaq compliance, what is going on after the reverse stock split, so on and so forth. I hope you find this video helpful. I also hope that you gain some knowledge about what's going on. Thanks guys for watching. Click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video.